good.
This is Michael O'Donoghue, who joins us right now. He's one of the writers for Saturday Night, NBC Saturday Night. He's awake, too.
I'm sure I'm late. I was having a shower with Stanley Siegel.
Yeah? How is he in the show?
It was fine. It was nice. You got a little microphone on a rope.
So my rope did my way, maybe?
Yeah. And you could sing. It was nice. I enjoyed it.
Michael wrote the Star Trek parody we did on our show.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Great that. He wrote the Claudine Longet piece.
Not around today.
And,
no, she's in the can now. She's okay.
He wrote a lot of brilliant things on the show, of course, with all the other writers like Alan Zweibel and some of the other ones I forgot. But he wrote the Weatherman piece that I did, and I just stole his style. And wrote
Sometimes acts on the program.
And he's Mr. Mike does that.
I try to act. I never quite get it together, you know?
That's true, Michael.
Quite the looseness that I have in the dressing room.
The Uncle Remus was funny you did.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah,
that was good. I thought that was very funny, Uncle Remus. How does the show work? You got to do 3 a month. Is that correct?
We do 26 a year. We don't know when they come, really.
So, I mean, you show up like on a Tuesday morning, and you got to have it ready by Saturday night.
That's because
Sunday.
that's because it goes on the air
Saturday night is the time to have it ready.
Well, we go
it's a real firm deadline.
It's
you know.
firm.
It's not.
11:30. You should be there.
I'm used to printing where you can say, "Listen, I have a draft of it. All I have to do is retype it up. I have it on your desk on Monday, and then that means you can really get it to them on Wednesday, and they can call the printer. But you can't do it. It really goes on 11:30. Your show's on the air.
We don't have. Sometimes we don't know who the host is. We start on Monday, and we just the writers get together. I'm now a writer with Dan Aykroyd. And
I want to have Dan and Jane and Lorraine and Lauren at some point come by too.
Forget it.
No, they won't show up.
No, they don't like you. They want me to tell you.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
We start on Monday, right, Michael? And we
talking to me.
I'm talking to you, man. Nobody else here.
There's no plan for
There's
it.
no plan.
Actually,
no plan. We don't.
We have various points, bases that we have to touch throughout the week, but really,
we write all night sometimes, you know, and just go until we drop.
It's incredible.
Or die. We've lost it.
Incredible.
Have you had those just fall in their tracks in the creative process? Just fall by the wayside? Just throw them on the elevator and...
Chevy, what do you think happened to him? He just died one day.
Oh, yeah, it's just good PR that he's got his own show there on the West Coast.
He clutched his heart forward, knocked his coffee over, and it's just gone, just like that. It was very sad.
No, you lose them. I mean, we just go until we're done. Like, we'll stay up till 5, 6 all night. We have Aykroyd and I have a bed in our vault where we work.
Sleep in a vault?
Well, there are no windows or anything, you know. It's a little L-shaped thing. Michael won't even come in. He's afraid.
It's foxhole writing. It's like it's Ernie Pyle stuff that we do.
Yeah, I see.
It's bringing Nacho back to comedy writing. You know,
Being
it all
live,
belong to the Marine Corps.
You also, I think you...
That's why I wear this jacket that says Maverick. You know what I mean?
Michael.
The thing that I like about the show is that sometimes you bomb. I mean, it happens, and it's not slick. See, I think slickness is a big enemy of television.
That's because
you try to get it right, to do 50 takes. I like the fact that it's happening like that. And I think the audience identifies with that.
Excuse me, I'm talking.
Under-rehearsed?
Yeah, it's under-rehearsed because, plus when the writing's done so fast, you don't have some jerk producer. Not Lorne Michaels, who's the best producer in television.
Yeah, he's great.
Besides your producer and your producer.
Well, Gary Hoffman. Let's not forget Gary Hoffman.
Save it for the Friars Club.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Gary Hoffman's a terrific
But I mean,
he produces shows magically.
We
don't have guests, and we still do shows.
Right, we write them so fast, it doesn't have a chance to get rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. And the original intention of the writer is put on the show.
It's not overthought. You know,
overthought.
A committee doesn't come in and say, "Oh, we can't say that. I think we should fudge
you
that."
Can't say.
How about the use
like that?
How about the use of intoxicants to aid the creative process?
Yeah, how about that?
Like marijuana.
There's a lot of use of marijuana. I'm going to level with you right now. A lot of use of marijuana to aid the creative process, and by God, it works too.
And how well, I think it's, why talk around it like that? Because I think that, I was talking the other night to somebody. I guess I really can't quote them in context, and they said Jack Benny, George Burns, before going on the Tonight Show, big hit of scotch.
Really?
Suck it right back. Yeah,
Took it right
sure.
down just
Right.
before going out, you know? So whatever works for people, if you're creative people, if it's coming to you in a dream, whatever it is, as long as it's not necessarily ruining your life, right?
I think we all know talk show hosts that touch their nose a little too often.
That's right.
No.
Little,
What do you think that means? Beats me.
Or do one of these, straighten the tie with it.
Yeah.
well, no, the same question to you in terms of creative process, Steve. Do you like to take...
Just before I walk out, I take 3 Nitols. As soon as I get out there, and I dream, and that's when I'm my funniest, sound asleep.
David,
I take a diet soda.
one tap.
Yeah, I take a diet soda and that's it. I think I work best when my mind's clear.
Really,
You work on
I
it.
can
Yeah, I'm
understand
serious.
that.
That's,
No, I
that's the
understand.
truth. You work
I
best
never
when your
use
mind's
anything.
clear.
That's for me. I mean, sometimes, you know what it is? I had a friend get up once, stoned out of his mind here at, there was Catch a Rising Star. Stoned out of his mind. So he gets up on the stage, and he's up there 3 minutes. Non sequiturs.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I went out, the balloon, you know, came off. And I said, hey, what are you supposed to do 25 minutes? He said, I'm sorry I ran over. I said, you did 3 minutes. He thought he killed the audience. They were staring at him like the RCA Victor dog. Like everyone was, he walked out the greatest set in the world.
Yeah. I tell you a funny story, but there's a place in Washington called the Cellar Door where
Oh,
a lot of
played it a
comedians
lot,
work.
yeah.
And there was a rock act playing the Cellar Door. They didn't have too much music there. The place closed at 2 o'clock at night. They had a gig Sunday afternoon in New York, so they decided to get really stoned and drive to New York, right?
Oh, yeah,
They
right.
got really stoned. They get in their car and they drove to New York at 15 miles an hour. Took them 12 hours to reach Manhattan. They had their hands on the wheel like this. It's a true story. They came in at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, had no idea what was
I'll
happening.
tell you, you know the difference you find with audiences? Now, if someone's drunk and heckles you, he's like this. Yeah, what about your mother? That's a drunk. A guy who's stoned in the audience, he just thinks he's heckling you. He sits there going,
Oh, that guy, yeah.
right?
I used to play when I did Lemmings. I mean, these guys would be on lewds, you know, and they'd be gone, you know, and they'd sit there like, you know, and they start drinking, you know, and you'd sit there and go, start like this, you know, and then as the act went on, the guy go, ha, ha. And then the second act started, the guy's like this. And this is the front row. And then the guy throws up right in the audience. And I'm going, oh, God, we lost another one. Wonderful. And I mean, but they take heavy drugs. I mean, there are places where they just take downs, you know. Grasses, you know.
It might be good for music, but for comedians,
High
it's
boogie, that's
deadly.
all they
Well,
I
realize.
find it deadly.
It's
Maybe
not
for
good for
performing.
music. It's
Yeah.
stupid for music.
Yeah.
Well, it's stupid
I mean,
for stupid.
an
It's
audience.
good for stupid
Yeah.
music,
I think you hear real good on music.
No.
It's good
You mean for
audio.
performing?
No, I mean
No,
for
I'm
an
talking about
audience.
for jazz artists. The best of the jazz artists really, if I may speak frankly, screwed themselves up with drugs.
Yeah.
I
What
think
did
that's
Charlie
true.
Parker
Yeah, that's
Do
all
what you
right.
want. It's none of my business. But I'm talking about Charlie Parker played much better when he was in his right mind. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think there's
That's
a
what I
process.
said. I keep a clear head. I have
Sure.
to.
when you
Yeah.
perform.
All the time.
All right,
Yeah,
but let me
all
just
the time.
take this thing back. Though we began by we're talking to you essentially as a writer, right? And if you say you'll take some marijuana and it aids the creative process, is there any risk in becoming dependent on having to smoke pot to get ideas?
You mind if I smoke now? Because I can't think of an
That's
answer
it.
to
You're
that.
over. Well, you're overemphasizing this whole use of drugs. You don't. You don't perform your best on drugs, and you don't necessarily write your best on drugs. You know.
You know what?
You have to
This-
perform totally straight. I mean, or else you just your instincts aren't
Yeah.
always there.
Your timing's off. I mean, do you know what the Sistine
Your
Chapel?
pants are off even.
Yeah, right. The Sistine Chapel, if Michelangelo had been stoned, it'd be blue and red now. I mean, how can you do it? It's the same.
True,
It's
it'd be the
that
Sistine
detail.
Chapel floor.
Like mescaline if you perform.
Now,
mescaline.
here we have a fellow in the audience with a question. I don't know where it's coming
He
from.
probably does a
He
lot of drugs.
probably-
Look at
yeah,
that.
yeah,
He
right.
has a heavy beard, but we
Probably
can't
wants
put him
to
in a
sell.
category. What's your name?
What do you want to sell?
Well, meet me after the show. We'll take care of things. Bill, I was wondering, is your hair naturally curly, or do you pin curl it at night?
My hair?
Yes.
Pal.
What you see is what you get. This is exactly the way it is.
It's a nice beard. You know the 60s are over.
Really?
Are you the guy I saw in live with the ponytail? Do you have a ponytail?
Hey.
I thought that was the one.
Great.
Cute.
What?
That's funny. You can grab his head either way. It goes like that.
Why don't you get a job, huh? Do something.
Why?
brought a picture.
No, I'm just kidding, really.
All right, listen, we're going
Despise
to
you.
take a break and we'll be back. We have a picture of Michael's cat right after this.
Because that stuff is pure gold. now.
Okay,
It's
just a
very
couple of reminders. David Brenner is at Westbury Music Fair with Charo. Steve Allen is at Avery Fisher Hall tomorrow night. These guys are on television.
I'll be at Mill Run, In the Round, Pheasant.
And steel
Kill.
pair for me on
I'll be doing
Thursday.
Tevye Evan Fiddler on the,
The
Roof.
horse? Are you going with the horse?
And,
There's a
And then-
stone horse
right.
into the ocean.
Michael O'Donoghue, what about some of the premises that never got on the air on Saturday night? Some of the ones that you loved that they just killed, shot down for whatever the reasons.
Boy, I just remembered a good one. Diane Cannon was on, and I had such a nice idea. It was Diane's, what shall I say, Hooters.
Hooters?
Hooters, Monstro Hooters.
Gazongas.
Yeah, there's another word. And these were docking at Lakehurst, and then they burst into flame, you know, and oh my God, they burst into flame, I don't believe it, it's horrible, people are leaping from them. A perfectly, perfectly tasteful piece, and one which kind of glorified the image of American womanhood, I thought, and she didn't go for it. Franken and Davis, two writers for the show, did a thing on, who is she, what is she, what's
This is
behind us?
Judy Lick from Channel
Not
5.
right now, honey. That's
Right in the middle of
I'm
one of your
sorry. What do you
groupies?
want?
Excuse me, Bill, this is just business.
Oh,
I'll be
business?
finished in just a second.
Okay.
Just like when,
The Hooters were docking at Lakehurst.
yeah, exactly.
That's a great song title.
Can we get the piano out? Maybe we could write one.
I'll have it ready for you in
docking.
5 minutes.
You know, there used to be an old song, I don't know who wrote it, but it was called There'll Be a Hot Time in Lakehurst, New Jersey when the Hindenburg lands tonight. Done in the 50s, as a matter of fact. It's not my song, okay?
What's going on here?
Excuse me, Bill, we'll really be finished in just a
Oral
second.
sex. She's interested in it. I don't know what's
Talking about it. It's all talk with her,
Married.
though. That's the
I have a
problem.
wife. I'm sorry, dear.
Judy Lick of
Channel
10
5
o'clock,
News, we do
10
anything
o'clock
for a
news.
story here.
Anything for a story.
No, I know you do. And under no conditions would I be on your show. No, I can't. I have to go to work. And why don't you get a job too? No, I can't.
I've got one here.
You do? Really?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm
Bill,
very sorry.
Could I ask you, would you like to do the 10 o'clock news tonight?
Tonight at
Yes,
10
we
o'clock?
would really like a commentator at large.
No, I'm busy.
I've never
tonight
hit a
at 10
woman
o'clock. I'm
before,
sorry.
you know,
I
but,
can't make it tonight at 10 o'clock. How about Michael?
Would you like to be
I
a
might be up
commentator?
for it, as a matter of
Would you
fact.
really?
Listen, this is a low operation. I have to put my cigarettes in the water here. There's no after this.
I know, but this is modern art, though. This sells.
Would you
This will
please?
play.
I've always wanted to be.
A commentator at large, you're on.
I want to be an
You got
anchorman.
it. You got it.
Okay,
Okay.
Judy.
Okay. Nice meeting you, John.
See you later.
Bye-bye, Judy. Okay,
Questions?
no questions.
Who was that?
What?
Who was that?
That was Judy Licht of our 10 o'clock news.
Why don't we blow it and tell all the news now, and then they won't watch tonight?
No, I can't. I mean, I have to go to work. I mean, I didn't mean to be. Yeah, I did mean to be cruel. I know I didn't mean to, but I have to work. You know,
Oh, I know.
I have a job.
You sing.
Oh, I sing as a hobby. Yeah, I
He
like
sings
to
as
sing.
a hobby. Does Elvis. Let's hear a little Don't Be Cruel. Let's hear a little Jailhouse Rock.
I don't.
Come on, boys, throw a party in the county jail. Prison man was there, began to wail. You know the words.
Walking through a party in the county jail. Prison man there, they began to wail. Prison man singing, they began to swing. Should have knocked out jail, but ring, let it rock. Everybody let it rock. Everybody in the old step lounge was dancing to the jailhouse rock.
John.
Sorry. Listen, I don't do it as well as Andy Kaufman. He does it much better.
Good move.
Andy Kaufman. Andy, put me on the spot. What do you want me to do?
He only knows. He only knows.
Hold on for a second.
Here, wait.
I got something with this. I got to do something with this. I can't take this sitting down.
Where's the picture of my
Wait a
cat?
minute. Hold on.
You got your mic?
No, just sit down.
Listen, why don't we
I
try
got the pen off
to?
for this.
Why don't we ad lib something? Why don't we ad
Rip the
lib?
shirt off. Just rip it right off my body.
Okay.
You can't do it only in the movies. See?
Andy
Now,
Kaufman
wait,
does
there's
much
more.
better.
There's more.
Oh, really?
Tilt your head up.
Okay. Too bad, you just missed, pal. But Andy Kaufman does a much better Elvis Presley than I do. I do other things better than that.
You know, you're built better than Stanley Siegel.
Of
really.
course I'm
You
built
could have
better than
a,
Stanley
You
Siegel.
got a nice body.
You can have a
really do.
shower off.
You jog and stuff?
We'll be back right after this. We'll dry off, take a break, be back Saturday night, visits midday. We're back in a minute. Sex therapist, a lot of action. Don't go away.